Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Conversations with Niss. I am Eunice. Thank you for joining me. To have a thought-provoking and enjoyable conversation, I hope. So today, I want to go into the matter of being an example. And I've got my notes. So if you see me looking down, I just want to make sure I'm on track. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Thank you for clicking, and I hope that you find value in it and continue to listen. All right. So, into the matter of the day, I want to bring to your attention that we all, whether we like it or not, whether we know and acknowledge it or not, we are examples. We are all examples. You're an example to the people in your world and community. To those you are intentionally making the effort to be an example to. Plus, those you do not regard as being an example to. Now, when we often think about being an example or having achieved something for which someone would want to look up to you, we usually think of very high flying achievers, usually people in the limelight, people that we personally look up to. We don't tend to think of ourselves as people who are worthy of emulation. And I suppose it's the thing about society that makes us put other people on a pedestal and not give ourselves as much regard or as much credit as we ought to. Today, I want you to have it in your mind and begin to see the different ways in which you are an example, whether it's in your household, your friend groups, your school, your workplace, or simply in the neighborhood you live in, or the different communities that you are a part of. Sometimes people are observing us from afar and we don't even know it. But even to such people whom we do not count in the scope of people that we are examples to, are actually looking to us as examples, whether positively or negatively. Now, that's a complete different um, conversation. But today, I want you to have it in your. You are an example to somebody, whether it's your little brother or your kid sister. Yeah, because a lot of us play the big bro and big sis role, whether to biological siblings or adopted siblings. We are examples to them. Sometimes, especially in the context of siblings, it may not always be clearly stated, but subconsciously it is there. And even your parents may expect it of you and tell you you are the older one. You should be an example to your younger ones. The crux of what I'm saying is don't live your life anyhow. That's why I'm getting. When we say something is an example, it simply means it's worthy of emulation. A person or thing regarded in terms of their fitness to be imitated, of behaving that is seen as a model that should be followed, right? That should become a model for others to look at, to study, to follow. This is only possible in the positive sense if you are being intentional about the way you're living your life and you are making the right decisions for which others will be proud to emulate you for. Now, the choice of role models and mentors and all that is entirely up to you. All right. But For me, the point is having it in your mind that whether somebody chooses you as their mentor, somebody chooses you to sometimes even coach them or explicitly tells you, hey, you're a really good example to me, perhaps in career or simply in your personal life. It is not limited to just those moments of explicit clarity that you are being emulated. It extends to every other person who never tells you they're looking up to you, but are actually looking up to you. So, what do we do? Should we really be focused on what people think of us? Or should we be so conscious as to craft our lives to please people simply because we know subconsciously that they may be emulating us? No, that's not my point. My point is not people pleasing. My point is not to say put people at the center of your life, but to draw your attention to the fact that it is worth living well and it is worth being a positive example to other people. Whether younger than you, older than you, or your age mates, it is worth living a life that another person can look at and say, that's a good life, and I want to be able to live like that. Or, I really admire the way that person lives, and I would really want to take that up. Or I would want them to be a role model for my child. Or I would very easily point people to them because they are an example of something that I admire. It is having a consciousness that you are not an ordinary person, no matter how ordinary your life looks like, no matter how mundane your daily activities are. You may not be engaged in exciting things like many of the people you see on Instagram or any other social media platform. Maybe, having fun, but even the mundane areas of your life, even the seemingly ordinary things about your life, has a power to impact other people negatively or positively. And today I want you to make that conscious decision that if people are going to be looking up to you, consciously or unconsciously, intentionally or not, that you are going to make it count. That if somebody sees you and decides, I really admire this lady, I really like this gentleman's way of life, that it will be for a positive reason. That even if they never come up to you and tell you that you impacted my life in this way or in that way, even if they never tell you that you were an example to them or a role model of some sort, you would have, in the grand scheme of things, helped someone. So today I want to provoke you. Start thinking about it. Do you want to be an example for people intentionally? And that's the point. It's being intentional about living your life with a mind or with the knowledge at the back of your mind that somebody somewhere is learning something, no matter how small it is, from you, from the extravagant, extraordinary things you do, as well as the mundane, ordinary things. So, would you make it count or would you not? That's what I leave you with today. Thank you for sticking it out on Conversations with me. I'm grateful. Join me same time next week. Let's get into another conversation and change our world one conversation at a time. Bye.